Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there, welcome back.
So the guys are, well, we're at a nice secluded little spot and they're able to run free, which is wonderful. It's a big blessing. It's pretty cold out today. It feels like it's about 50, low 50s, which is cold for here, but it feels refreshing.
But we have some very warm clothes thanks to Mama Jan, so we're okay.
Well, it's going to be back up to 70 in a couple of days. So that's the way it is in this area. But, just to reiterate and go over the last video, which we did, which was a little over an hour long, because I just saw a comment and somebody says, you never told us who the last Gigi is. And, again, yeah, we did. And so the last Gigi is Utnapishtim, which is really who is that? Well, that's the Sumerian Akkadian version of Noah. So
Stop there for just a moment. So we're going to hone in on that. Who did we say? Noah. Yes, it's Noah of the Bible. That's the last Gigi. Kind of cool, huh?
Yeah, because basically you don't get that in the biblical story. But again, as we were saying, the biblical story is just a brief rehashing and a changing of things. So in the original Akkadian story taken from the Sumerian story, and Akkadia, Sumeria, basically you could almost view them as the northern and southern portions of the same kingdom, just at different phases. And that is over in what is today's Iraq, the Fertile Crescent area, so to speak. Well, that story is from 1700 to 2000 BC, so it's like 4,000 years old. And again, we don't have anything biblical that is even close to that age. And so we just wanted to just cover that, So Noah of the Bible is based on Utnapishtim. And Utnapishtim, after surviving the flood, thanks to Enki letting him know it was coming, well, he is granted immortality by the gods, per se, by the Gigi. And I'm going to go look for Rama because he's being too quiet. He's being too quiet over here. I don't know what he found. There he is. Okay. So, yeah, he is granted immortality, but it's not really immortality. Again, we would be living a lot longer right now. And it's right in the Bible when you're talking about the flood in Genesis that God says, I will no longer strive with men, humanity. The most they can live will be 120 years. And that's, with the flood story. And then when we look to the original story coming out of Akkadia, it is, Utnapishtim is granted immortality. And, he did become basically the last Gigi that's here now on Earth. Now, that's not to say, again, that there's not a ton of offspring, because, that is, the case. And they are the royals, they are the blue bloods, they are the ones that are interbreeding. And it's not to say that there's not different delegations that come here from Mars, per se. On a regular basis, yes, and even some from Nibiru come occasionally and meet down in Antarctica. And we have shared also that come 2035, there will be beings that we would think of as the giant Anunnaki that will be overseeing the smart cities. And we'll be seen visually, so you will be seeing them. If you can make it to 2035, you will probably get to see an Anunnaki at some point. But of course, those that are free outside the cities, they avoid them at all costs.
Absolutely. Because not do they don't only just avoid them, but they avoid intermingling the energy.
Right.
Because they totally understand about the energy body. They understand what it means if one person can see you energetically, you can see them energetically. So that's just that other, one of those other senses that they haven't told us about. I think the human body has, well, I mean, they say our 6 senses, and we probably have 100 senses they don't talk about.
Yeah, absolutely, as we see Sir Rama here. So, yeah, I just wanted to clarify that for you guys. Now, there does seem to be people that will be outside of the smart cities, but will still be tracked in some ways in the other cities. So it wasn't like there's only the smart cities. We need to get clarity on that the next time it comes through. Do you remember? No? Okay. Yeah, she was totally under, so she doesn't remember. But again, if you're part of the system, then you're under all their rules and regulations. And so the most important thing is going to be staying organic. So, that might be the new motto of the channel. Stay organic,
Yes.
Our friends. Stay organic.
Stay organic.
Yeah, absolutely. As much as you possibly can. So, again, I would get out of the major cities if you can. Try to homestead as much as possible. Read the labels. The labels are key and critical, even though they don't have to label everything. They're now allotted to put certain amounts of things that are not organic inorganic and still label them as organic.
And they do that a lot, and I know our good friend Dave Devine has explained that too in detail. Some of the new laws that went into place in 2023, where they can just, do the sleight of hand. They don't have to mention what they have changed, they just can change it now. And all of these big corporations, they're in it for each other. They're in it to help one another. And they know it's not helpful if people know exactly what they're eating, because consciousness is on the rise.
Yeah, make sure to pray over your food, charge it with intention, ask for the benefit of all souls, I would, that are involved in making it possible, and that they be just like, what Loka Samasta Sukhi no Bhavantu means is basically, may all souls everywhere be happy and free. That is something that's just a right. That's a right given to us by source. So right off the bat, if there's anything that's saying otherwise, it's not of source. It's not the creator of this universe either, and it's not part of the positive system.
Well, when you have to hide things and manipulate your way into compliance, that's a problem there.
Yeah, and as the Law of One says too, there's the 2 camps: service to self, service to others. And, the greatest service to others really begins with serving yourself, but in a positive way. Mm-hmm. So you could become the best version of yourself.
Well, there's self-love is so important. That is a direct connection to your higher self. So if you are looking to try to find ways, how do I connect to my higher self? Self-love, you take good care of yourself. Hygiene, hair, take yourself out, do something nice. The only thing I can really say is eating foods that are really, really yummy, like junk food, that's not a direct connection to higher self, unfortunately, even though it is really yummy and it feels like a prize. But really do things that are good to you for higher self connection.
Yeah, eat as much live food as possible, especially if you know that it was locally grown. Make friends with local farmers, local farm co-ops. We discovered one locally. No, not too local. It is, quite a drive, but it's still something that could be manageable. While we're able to drive, because as we know, they're doing everything. It should be pretty obvious to everybody right now. It's all about making your life difficult. It's all about making your life difficult so that you will say, oh, screw it. Okay, I'll go to that city, and everything's going to be in walking distance. Life will be easy. So, it won't hurt so bad when they stick the chip in. All these things. This is what they want you to do. They want you to give up and give in. Mm-hmm. But no, there's going to be those that will not give up, will not give in. We ourselves are actively looking to try to find ourselves a spot that will be as remote as possible, even more remote than where we are. The guides have told us, they said, this might be a good respite for a year or two, and it'll help you, to get ready for that next stage. And I think we're at that next stage because we could feel that the FIVEG has been turned up. We could feel the energies. We're way too sensitive to be near these energies, as we are energy workers first and foremost.
As are the puppies. Oh my gosh, these guys are so highly sensitive. If somebody shuts a door across the street, they're going to tell you about it. And they can't help it. They're just that sensitive. When you grow up in an environment where energy is truly cultivated and understood, you can't help but become sensitive, and the pups are that way now too.
Absolutely. So we'll be scouring for the most remote spot we could find for ourselves in a workable area that will be easy enough to stay warm and grow food and get rainfall. We understand all the geomod and weather modification that goes on can change things at the drop of a hat. But overall, some areas are more advantageous than others.
Yeah, and at that point, then we'll transition into a kind of a homesteading thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, we are looking forward to that. But, for us, again, even being on the outskirts of a tiny little town is just too much energy. We just can't simply... it's just tough.
Yeah, it is, because you feel that constant buzz. It's like you can feel the electricity run through the walls even when everything is off at night.
Yeah. So, that's, again, I wouldn't mind emulating what we had in New Mexico in a warmer, wetter environment, which, it was earth made too. It was,
That's great.
it was an earthen home that was partially under the ground, and it was very energy efficient, and we had absolutely no signal. Turn off the power. It's peace as they do what they do up there, as you can see. What's that now? Is that CV 23 up in the air coming down right now? COV 23? I hope not. But, again, boost your immune system. Stay as healthy as you possibly can.
Stay organic.
Stay organic, guys. Much love. May you be blessed by the creator of this universe. Call on the archangels if needed. Call on your angels all the time.
Source bless and namaste.
Namaste.